welcome to the next review on Foos Entertainment. Earlier I reviewed Insidious. Now I'm going to be doing my review on Insidious Chapter 2. This actually is my favorite one of the franchise so far. New flavor on that one. But basically this is my favorite one out of all four movies. This is part 2. I think the reason why is because it just has, in my opinion, much more story to it. But I think that sequel-wise, as well as just the uniqueness of this movie, is actually pretty cool. Everything, all the weird, bizarre things that are happening in the first movie tie in perfectly to this movie. Alright, well let's dig into it, shall we? Insidious Chapter 2 takes place just minutes after the events of Insidious. And basically, we discovered that Josh, our main character, played by Patrick Wilson, basically has been possessed in his body during his astral projection adventure to rescue his son in the previous film. He's not in his body, but his childhood evil demonic spirit that wanted to possess him has actually done so and is pretty much inhabiting his body. And he is lost in the astral dimension, helpless to stop the Holder from going ahead and killing his family. So he thinks. And throughout the movie, he's trying to contact his wife through the other dimension, through the further. And that's where it kind of ties in the first movie. Like when in the first movie, when the piano was playing by itself, it wasn't playing by itself. Josh was playing the piano. When all the alarms were going off in the house and doors was knocking and stuff like that, it wasn't ghosts. It was Josh trying to get in the house. Why was it that evil demonic ghost-like spirit was in the pantry, the nursery, going ahead and trying to lead herself onto the infant baby, to their daughter, and then all of a sudden gone? Because Josh got into the house and had a hand-to-hand fight and battlement with that demonic force and rid it out of the house, which is why it wasn't there. And so, very, very interesting how it ties in. It's like instead of just being projecting through other dimensions, it's also projecting for time itself. It's kind of like everything comes full circle. So, I find that pretty cool. Is for Elise, Lynn Shay's character, our paranormal investigator, or her heroine, I guess. She teams up with Josh in the astral dimension to take on the horrifying and demonic force that is possessing his physical body in our realm. And by the end, of course, he does get back to his body and everything is good. And then he and his son get hypnotized to forget about their astral projection ability. And happily ever after right there, the end. Which is why the next movie is not a sequel. That's basically the premise of the movie. I think what I like about this one is just has it's very interesting how it ties in. I mean, it's like, oh, now that makes a little more sense. it really plays with the laws of physics a little bit. It actually goes more in depth on the quantum theory of relativity meets astral projection, as well as multiverse in them is in there too. So it's like does nod to both theories. It's actually kind of cool. And yeah, there's just that scientific aspect is just really cool about the movie. The way the movie flows is good. I also like how it played nod to Stanley Kubrick's To Shine with Jack Nicholson. When we discovered that Josh isn't Josh, and he starts doing the Jack Nicholson thing, trying to kill the family. It's actually kind of reminds me of The Shining, and that was kind of cool. So overall, a really good movie. I mean, this right here is definitely my favorite one out of all 4 of the Insidious films. Let's go into audio and video. This one is more neutral looking than the previous one, but it still has that at times push of cool temperatures. But this one does actually tend to have some warm color temperatures within the movie, although it still solely is a cool color temperatured film. Unlike the first film, the entire movie was cool temped. There was really no warm temps at all in that movie, period. Everything in that movie was in complete cool color temperatures with neutrals. This one actually has some warm temperatures mixed in with the neutrals at times. So I thought that was kind of cool. As for the audio, this one don't fade to the right or left as much as the last one did. So this one is more balanced. There are times in the movie to where it does go a little bit more to the right than it does to the left, but it's not a constant thing like I kind of felt it was in the first one. Keep in mind, even in the first one, when it did have directional surround effects in the movie, it definitely was directional, and we used all the speakers in the first film. This one has much more directional effects than the first one, in my opinion. Although there are a few sequences in the first film that would argue that. Because there are a few sequences in the first film, like when he goes against that Wendigo demon. You know what Wendigo is, look it up, you'll understand why I call it a Wendigo demon. But yeah, the paint-colored faced one, basically, when he's all flying around shit, it has much more surround than this movie does with directional effects. But there's not much in terms of that. In this one, there's actually a whole lot of really cool stuff going on. And this makes a lot of sense of the first movie while expanding on the story of the first movie and blending it in with this one. And I think that's what kind of makes it cool. This is certainly my favorite one, like I said. I have seen Insidious 1 and 2 many times. I haven't seen Insidious 3 and 4 plenty of times because I will be perfectly honest. I don't like either one of those movies. But I will be watching and reviewing them today as well. Like I said, there's going to be films out there I'm going to be picking on people. And like I said, we'll get to those soon enough, so I won't have to spend too much time on that. But that's Insidious Chapter 2. Have you seen Insidious Chapter 2? Did you like the movie? Did you not like the movie? Do you like this video? Do you not like this video? As always, subscribe, check in from time to time. I will see you on the next review, which will be for Insidious Chapter 3.